All right, welcome everyone. Oh, my volume is still on. All right, let's try that again, so that I don't hear an echo. It is the last weekend for this event to get the limited time rewards, of course. As you can see, we are fully done with that, and also for this one, make sure that you get them in time. And we are actually caught up to date on all of the events, and so we actually might have some time to finish this companion mission and work on some of these blue missions that I just have had to put off because I've been trying to catch up. Not much else to tell you all. I was able to get Dan Heng and Misha's talents all the way up, and also Hanya's. We are currently working on Sushang right now to fully max out. And then I did the math because I have been pretty good about making sure that I get the tracks of destiny from all of the events, and even with pretty much having missed no tracks of destiny up to this point, I'll still run out around Peya, which is really interesting to me. It is beginning of the month, so make sure that you get your Ember Exchange polls, and then we do have an achievement. I got a couple while you all were away. There are no other Wolf Trooper enemies on the field when Hulei triggers a Moon Rage, and Hulei could not unleash Lupine Chase Call's Bloody Gleam in Moon Rage duration. And then also in Swarm Disaster, I rolled the preservation die 100 times. I was really close on that one, so very good. So literally the only last two achievements that I have to get for Swarm Disaster are the Abundance die and Disruption level 20 or higher. But I still have to get those, do the Path 20 time hidden achievements for Remembrance, Hunt, and Destruction. So we're still working on those. And then just an update when it comes to, where is it? This one? Just as a reminder, we will be getting a free standard banner character that you will get to pick in the 2.7 update, and it seems that it goes all the way to 3.2, so that's really nice. Sunday's coming, very excited for that. Adventuring did drain my my guarantee. I do not regret it because I use him every single time. As you can see, 2.7 is imminent. I will be doing one more pull on Acheron just because I do want her, and it will build pity because more than likely I will not get her. If I get her in like the first 20 pulls, it's just meant to be because I do want Acheron. It's just I always end up wanting the character she's running with more or the character right after her more. So we are trying. I do have 6 standard pulls. I am going to probably, because I am literally at 73 pity. I really thought I'd get a 5-star next round. I will probably end up using my Herta tokens to buy the other standard pulls that I need, because I am not picking my permanent 5-star until I get a 5-star on this banner, because I don't... As I've told you all before, I'm probably going to pick Clara on the permanent because she's literally the only standard that I do not have. Like, I even have her 5-star light cone. I just do not have her. And I would hate to pull her, and then once I finally naturally build up enough wishes, like, she ends up somehow being it, and then I have, like, E1 Clara, and I'm like... Anyway, so let's start... Oh, I have 20... If I do 2 pulls, I am going to start getting into sketchy territory. Let's do 1. See how we feel. This puts us at 21. This would give us the 3 tries, though. Like we did on the Imbibitor Lunae. Or like, I want to attempt to get this character, but I'm not going to go like all in. And I have Sampo fully maxed out, so glad to see him, if for no other reason than to get the those bits. So that's 21. 31. Yeah, wasn't expecting it, but that does give us some pity for when Sunday's banner comes out. You all don't, like, you all know I've been excited for Sunday since he was shown to us in the game originally back in Penacony. That's an interesting one to get. And I was kind of concerned that he was going to go on a Cocolia route, or we just don't have access to him because he's like the villain. You know what I mean? Ha! Alright, so let us finish up this companion mission.
Alright, everyone is here. It's time for questioning.
Yoon Lee, I'm sure you understand why the official called you here, right?
Yeah? But I didn't steal the sword.
Unfortunately, official Dahao didn't hear Yoon Lee's promise. If we don't recover the sword, we will be breaking our promise to the Lawfu and betraying the delegation. We're counting on you to find the truth, official Dahao.
Yes. It's my duty to thoroughly investigate the case. Even though Yoon Lee is firm in her words, we can't just rely on her testimony.
After everything, the sword still got stolen. They should have given it to me from the beginning.
In this case of Gu Yun's theft, everyone involved seems suspicious to some extent. Miss Yoon Lee is the main suspect. First, during the sword gifting ceremony, Yoon Lee openly expressed her intention to steal the sword. She even mentioned it multiple times. After the ceremony, she broke into the Artisanship Commission and destroyed Arumatons in an attempt to get the sword. Am I right?
That's true.
The Realm Keeping Commission inspected the arsenal where Gu Yun was stored, and there were no signs of forced entry through the doors or windows. The only possible entrance or exit was a small window gap, just a few inches wide. Hey! It's just a theft. The box containing Gu Yun was opened and the sword went missing. But none of the other swords in the room were touched. Which means...
Yeah, I don't think it was stolen on a whim.
Exactly. The suspect had a clear motive and took only Gu Yun. So, besides the ceremony participants, only the delegation members had access to the sword.
Not Argenti. Why is it this?
So, did you steal it?
No.
Then stop joking around.
I can prove that he came to me after leaving the Artisanship Commission, so he couldn't have stolen the sword.
To put it simply, not everyone who's seen the sword has been to the Artisanship Commission, and not everyone who might want the sword has seen it. So, the only remaining suspect is Miss Yoon Lee.
Yeah, but that's just conjecture. You have no proof.
Fair enough.
So...
I didn't steal the sword.
Well, when you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. If you want to prove me wrong, better come up with some solid evidence.
You don't have solid evidence. That line of thinking drives me nuts when it's in like all the stories. It's like, I'm basing this off of conjecture and no better reason. Oh, you don't want to go to jail just because I am basing this off of my basic conjecture? Alright, do my work for me and find out the like who actually did it. That way, and then come up with proof to prove your innocence. It's like, you don't have proof that I did it.
Let me gather my thoughts.
Oh, that always pisses me
I need to help
off.
Yoon Lee clear her name.
Yoon Lee says she didn't steal the sword, and I am willing to believe her. But I know well that Yoon Lee can be impulsive. So if she did steal the sword on a whim, I won't show her any favors. You were with Yoon Lee yesterday, young man. So you have the chance to prove her innocence. Is there anything you need to ask me? No, she was still mad at me, so she didn't come by. If she had come with you, she wouldn't be a suspect right now. After the ceremony, Argenti carried the sword case, and together with the delegation, they were escorted by the Cloud Knights to the Artisanship Commission. The artisan there confirmed that the sword was safely stored. I'm counting on you then.
The container used to seal Guyun is indeed a sight to behold. Its beauty is radiant. Perhaps it was this very beauty that has drawn unwanted attention. Regardless, as one of the few pieces of physical evidence left at the scene, it just might hold traces of the thief. The sword case, masterfully adorned with metal wire inlays, traces the pattern of lotus flowers, subtly proclaiming its origin from the illustrious Xianzhou Zhuming. The locking mechanism nestled within the case remains intact, bearing no marks of external force or tampering.
So, the thief took the sword from the case without picking the lock.
You notice a few smears of red along the bottom of the sword case's interior. It's hard to ignore, as if it was a deliberate declaration of existence to those who are viewing the sword case. A few petals, teetering on the brink of withering, more precisely, a single rose petal, which obviously points to Argenti.
Why is this flower petal inside the case?
You close the sword case and put it back. I bet Argenti just asked the case to unlock itself.
If you found any clues. Alright. Come back.
Okay.
Who could have thought that the Mieka Kifesa would be stolen? And that the prime suspect is General Huayan's granddaughter?
I feel like it's you. Just because that's usually how these react. You have like a cast you are aware of, and then it just like, it's always the person who's new to the scene.
Regardless, we've accomplished our mission, and now it's the Xianzhou's problem. By the way, why did that girl call it a cursed sword? It's quite upsetting. That's enough, young man. Now let me get something straight. On Kalevala, this sword has always been highly revered. The first master of the Mieka Kifesa slew countless demons and then passed it down to a line of wise monarchs. The monarchs would heed the guidance of the hero spirits within the sword and gain insight into defeating their enemies. Oh, of course, it could just be a myth. After all, no one has actually heard the sword speak. The point is that the Mieka Kifesa did help the ancestors of Kalevala build a strong foundation. It's definitely not a cursed sword.
I don't want to make things difficult for official Dahao. Let's do this his way and prove my innocence. If I can find that cursed sword, I can prove my innocence right away. There's something else bothering me. Why would the thief take the sword, but leave the case behind? Did they melt down the sword like I wanted to? Maybe. But if the case was too much trouble, wouldn't it be too conspicuous to carry around the sword like that? In plain sight?
But yeah, obviously you suspect him just because he's the new guy, but he's like, oh, and everybody's suspecting the general's daughter, because like the petals in the case are too obvious to be like for Argenti, you know?
Yes, I received your message yesterday and went to the arsenal to check on it. But when I went back this morning, all that was left was the case. I don't know anything else, so asking more questions won't help, I'm afraid. However, as the Master Artisan of the Artisanship Commission, I've got to clarify something. Even though the sword was stolen, this commission is still highly secure. Wait, no. I just remembered. My precious aromatons were smashed!
Alright, so we now have all of our clues.
If you've found any clues, feel free to tell it.
Thank you. But I'm not sure if I can convince Mr. Dahao.
100% sure. Fine. Let me go through my reasoning again, and you can interrupt if anything feels off.
Oh, I hate these things.
Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission, and that was Miss Yoon Lee.
On second thought, maybe let...
Take your time. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission.
Your statement isn't quite accurate. Argenti, the delegation members, and even me, we were all at the Artisanship Commission at some point.
True. But they all left after delivering the sword. And the craftsman overseeing the handover confirmed that they couldn't have left with the sword. We looked into it as well. Before Gu Yun was handed over, the Psycrane at the entrance of the Artisanship Commission captured you leaving. But there's no record of Miss Yu.
Why would I dare leave through the main entrance after smashing the aromatons?
Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke in. Miss Yoon Lee caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission, trying to take away Gu Yun. But you stopped her in her tracks.
On second thought...
Take your time. Miss Yoon Lee caused a...
What Dahao said, exactly. So at least Yoon Lee didn't steal the sword at that time, because we were at the Arumaton warehouse.
If your testimony is reliable. I'm not implying anything, but we need to scrutinize every piece of evidence.
You literally are going to put her in jail on conjecture. What do you mean, evidence?
Miss Yoon Lee caused a ruckus at the... After bidding farewell to you, Yoon Lee pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Gu Yun.
Where is your evidence for that?
On second thought...
Take your time. After bidding farewell to you, Yoon Lee pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Gu Yun.
On second thought...
Take your time. After bidding farewell to...
After Yoon Lee and I went our separate ways, I messaged Master Gongshu to inform him about the incident. And much later, Master Gongshu told me the sword was confirmed safe. So up until that point, Yoon Lee couldn't have stolen it. Can I prove this?
After bidding farewell to you, Yoon Lee pretended to leave. Wait, you messaged Master Gongshu? I had no idea. Well, that's some solid proof right there. However, it only proves the sword wasn't stolen up to that point.
I didn't do it!
After bidding farewell to you, Yoon Lee pretended to leave. We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
I found this in the crevice at the bottom of the case.
A rose petal? Huh. Yeah, I must have missed it during the search. Why was there a petal inside the case?
I don't know. But I do know that wherever that Knight of Beauty goes, he always leaves behind a trail of rose petals that's almost impossible to clean up.
My thoughts are a mess. Let me sort them out.
It's not Argenti.
The sword case was never locked, which which is evidence that only someone who delivered the sword could have done that. And the rose petal was probably left behind by that Knight of Beauty. But how did he manage to take the sword from the Artisanship Commission? Why did he steal it after returning it here? And why would he leave that petal in the case?
I know. Guyun flew out of the case on its own. The Knight of Beauty only unlocked the box to aid its escape.
Don't be ridiculous. How can a sword escape from a case on its own?
You've never seen a flying sword before?
I've only heard about the Mieka Kifesa being able to fly in legends. But even if it could fly, why would the Knight of Beauty do this?
Like I said, the sword contains a heliobus. Argenti must have been under the control of the sword. Maybe he was under its control even before you arrived on the Lofu.
Official Dahao, where can we find that knight?
Let me see. The docking location of Argenti's ship. The one and only.
Let's go. We've got to find Argenti before that sword completely takes over his mind.
Okay. Maybe it is Argenti.
It's still early. Where to now?
We're coming to save you, Argenti. Intelligentsia Guild member. In a corner of Starskip Haven, you stumble upon a knight clad in shivering silver armor. "15th day, month X, 1604. He has a chair? Question mark.
I've been waiting for you here for quite a while.
Oh, he actually has voice lines.
Knight of
Surprising.
Beauty. You're the one who stole Guyun, right? Hand it over. You have no idea how dangerous that cursed sword is.
Dangerous? In my humble opinion, the real danger is always the hand wielding the weapon. Yes, I did. As a Drilla's knight, I've sworn to live in poverty, and I abhor theft. I had to leave behind a rose petal in order to keep my promise to Master Guyun and uphold my knightly oath.
What? What do you mean?
I agreed to assist Master Guyun in its escape from the Xianzhou. As the person who pulled it from the stone monument, captivated by its beauty, I must not let it down. I couldn't stay in the arsenal to convince the craftsman, nor did I want to take the sword like a thief. That's why I left behind a small piece of evidence that pointed to my identity, in the hope of an open and honest conversation with you.
Whatever your reasons are, you're planning to take the cursed sword away from the Xianzhou. Hand it over to me.
It doesn't technically need to be handed over to you. It should be handed over to the Artisan Commission.
Back then, it was the beauty of Master Guyun that impressed me. So I willingly embarked on the journey to return the sword. But unfortunately, Master Guyun's homeland is no longer the ideal place for it to return to. As a Knight of Beauty, I must not abandon it halfway.
Oh no. He's completely captivated by the power of that cursed sword.
How do we snap him out of it?
Is right in your hand.
Captivated? No, I am touched by Master Guyun's flawless beauty. To be honest, I'm confused why none of you can understand this sword. This is quite heartrending. I've already made up my mind to take Master Guyun away from the Xianzhou.
That cursed sword has messed with your ability to think. But I'll break you free from its grip. I'll shatter its illusion. And the sword itself.
Fair lady, if you're intent on taking away this person, this sword that is under my protection, please engage me with a fair duel according to knightly etiquette. As a representative of this duel, I, Argenti, challenge you. I swear on the spirit of chivalry in front of a Drilla the Beauty, that I will represent Master Guyon in this duel. If I win, you will allow Master Guyon to leave the Xianzhou with me. And if you best me, Miss Yunli, I'll accept my defeat and turn Master Guyon over to you. Do you accept my challenge, Miss Yunli?
Fine. Let's see whose desire is stronger. Your desire to take it away, or my desire to hunt down all cursed swords. Show me what you've got. You're not going to use Guyon to fight for victory?
Well, I know a thing or two about swordplay. In a proper duel like this, a knight should rely on the skills he's honed day and night. You're fighting a gentleman.
You're unreal. Weird.
I feel like a lot of people feel that way about Argenti. Also, we're gonna be here a while. I do not have the attribute to fight this man.
Repay. Dreams do come true. Let the show begin.
Conflict is pitiless. Confess.
Watch your head. Catch up. Oh. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Watch your head.
The dead return! Bear witness to
Here is thunder. Show no mercy.
Let the duel commence. Let's I'm
Oh. Let's improvise. Let the show begin.
conflict is pitiless.
Watch your head. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Put forth all your might. Was that it, Major? The dead return!
The flesh.
Does he say it's just a flesh wound? Oh my gosh.
Behold, this symbol of pure.
Here is thunder.
Well, we finally got into halfway.
You're fighting a gentleman. Put forth all your might.
Watch your head.
Show no mercy.
The dead return!
The flesh wound. Let's improvise. Let the show begin.
Conflict is pitiless. Was that it? Confess!
I'll catch up. The flesh wound. Dreams do come true.
Bear witness to
Still the same wall.
Oh.
Here is thunder.
The flesh wound. Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all. Let's improvise.
let the duel commence. Let's I'm
No dirty tricks. Let the show begin.
the dead return!
The flesh
Conflict is
I
pitiless.
wish before we did fights that they would tell us attributes, so I'm not just sitting here being like, oh, I could have changed people.
Put forth all your might.
No dirty tricks.
Show no mercy.
Dreams do come true.
Here is thunder.
Behold, this symbol of pure.
Oh.
Rise to the challenge. The dead return! Rise to the challenge.
Let's improvise.
You're fighting a gentleman. Put forth all your might.
Let the show begin.
Conflict is
The
pitiless.
flesh.
Underestimated.
Watch your head. Bust.
And now we have to do it again. Ugh.
Or maybe I'll take it all.
Bear witness to let the duel commence.
Dreams do come true.
Confess!
All
Put forth all your might.
Here, get thunder.
Trifle. Watch your head. The flesh.
And return! Show no mercy.
The flesh. All bust. Or maybe I'll take it off. Let's improvise. Let the show begin. Watch your head.
Put forth all your might.
No danger.
Conflict is pitiless. Behold, this symbol of pure fighting a gentleman.
The flesh.
The dead return! Rise to the challenge.
Dreams do come true.
Let's I'm here.
All
Put forth all your might. Here, get thunder.
watch your head. The flesh. Catch up.
I underestimated you.
Bust. Or maybe I'll take it off. The flesh. Watch your head.
Show no mercy.
Let's improvise. Let the show begin.
Let the duel commence. Put forth all your might.
All the flesh.
Conflict is
The
pitiless.
flesh.
The dead return! Bear witness. To your fighting a gentleman.
Dreams do come true.
Argenti, I'm gonna need you to bow out, please.
Here, is thunder.
I've had to fight you too much in this game.
No dirty trick. Watch your head.
I underestimated you.
Bust. Or maybe I'll take it off. The flesh.
That nothing major.
Watch your head. Let's improvise. Let the show begin.
Let the duel commence. Put forth all your might.
No dirty trick.
Show no mercy. Rise to the challenge.
We're almost there. 15% left.
The dead return! Conflict is pitiless.
Dreams do come true.
One.
For chivalry.
The chivalry.
I've lost. According to the rules of a knight's duel, I should keep my promise and hand over the sword to you. But before I do that, I hope that you, as the winner, might have the mercy and listen to Master Guyon's past experiences.
This sword has been cursed since the day it was forged. Place it in front of me, and let me destroy it.
You don't have the right to do that, Yunli. It's technically the Xianzhou's sword.
Do what she says, Knight.
But
You've done so much for me already. It's time for me to face her alone.
Argenti draws forth an ancient sword, scarred from countless battles, before all eyes.
Weary of fighting. I just want to share my past with you. To explain why I wanted to escape.
I imagine the sword's gonna, like, narratively, it's gonna, like, house the soul of her father or something.
After that, I'll leave my destiny in your hands. Are you afraid to witness my past, little girl?
Afraid? Well, you do have a different aura from other cursed swords. But you're just trying to use my curiosity to lure me in.
Well, you know best that a single touch won't snatch away anyone's sanity.
Show me your past.
It's already impossible to contact the main Cloud Knight forces. What awaits me will be a long and lonely war.
Follow me.
Is this your memory?
Bellabog? Follow Guyun and live through a memory long forgotten on another planet.
It's so cold here. I didn't feel it when I was in the thick of battle, but now it's freezing me to the bone. You're indeed a masterpiece from the Xianzhou Juming. If you hadn't taken control of my body, I probably would have been decapitated in that fight.
Quiet, and stay alert. Boris and wolf troopers never give up the hunt.
Hey, just relax a bit. It's been over 300 days since we were both stranded on this planet. The transmitter never rings, so I guess we can't count on that anymore. The people on this planet still use beasts to pull their carts. Obviously, there's no way they can help us fix the star skiff. Looks like we're stranded on this forsaken planet for the rest of our lives.
Is this supposed to be the planet that the emissary comes from?
The rest of a Xianzhou native's life could be terribly long. Are you feeling any desperation? All by yourself in this hostile world?
Yeah, a bit. Perhaps.
When things get too rough for you to handle, just leave everything to me. No need to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah, sure. If I really can't handle things anymore, I'll leave my body to you. But now is not that time.
Do you really think you can oppose an entire Borisan army with your limited skills? What are you holding out for?
It's true that I'm stranded here, but it seems like that Borisan pack is in the same boat. By the way, Guyun, do you know what a seed is? A seed may seem insignificant, but with careful cultivation and time, it can grow into a huge, unwavering tree. You said that the rest of a Xianzhou native's life could be terribly long. You're right. That's why I intend to plant a seed named Resistance here, and nurture it for the rest of my life. I want to show the people of this land. I can already see the seed in the eyes of those people.
Sorry, I cut it off, but he was saying, I want to show the people of this land how to defend themselves against the monsters.
You really think you can do it? Why not just give me control, and we can revel in the bloodbath together?
What was the memory I just saw?
It was a memory of me and a Cloud Knight. Stranded on an unfamiliar planet. We crash-landed on a planet occupied by Borisan. Just the two of us.
I can feel that it was a lonely war.
I'm alive. But all the young people in the village.
They died. They died for you. They died because of your big promises. Promising them a life free from the Borisan. I tasted their despair before death. They didn't see it coming. And neither will you.
We can't stay here. Let's move on to the next village.
Why? What's the point? You and your sorry excuse for an army have been fighting for over 3 decades, and you haven't won a single battle. What you're sowing is not resistance, but despair. This world is hopeless. It's completely infested with packs of Borisan. You've seen their numbers, and you know their methods. And those commoners you've put your hopes in, they just kneel down and worship the monsters devouring their children and families, calling them their beast masters. You beheaded one of the Beastmasters for their sake. But they turned on you because they were scared of the Boris and taking revenge. You remember all that, right?
I do. I remember my first death. The Borisin cut off my head. But I also remember that if it weren't for a brave youngster who risked his neck to reattach my head and give me a proper burial, I would have disappeared completely. I remember everything the people did for me. They left food at the entrance of my cave, fixed my fur coat, and some even joined my resistance. The rest of the Xianzhou native's life is still terribly long. And there will be new youngsters who will stand beside me in battle. Time is on our side.
You said it was a lonely war. No. It wasn't a war filled with loneliness, but with despair. So much despair that I don't want to ever taste it again.
I'm leaving.
Where are you going, Your Highness?
I'm returning to my homeland. A distant place beyond the sky. I'm not coming back.
But what should we do with you gone? What if those wolf demons show up again?
They won't, my child. You've wiped out the last of them. But before I go, I need you to do one thing for me. Even though the wolf demons are gone, new monsters will appear in this world. Soon, a demon will appear, donning golden branches and knowing only bloodshed. However, fear not, my children.
Ah, the Mara. He's becoming Mara-struck.
I'm entrusting you with this sword that's been with me in countless battles. Use the skills I've taught you over the years, and you'll surely defeat that last demon. But that's not all. I need you to construct a stone monument for me. It must be large and sturdy enough to seal the remains of that demon forever. This is a debt you owe me, and you must fulfill it. Do you understand?
You lied to them. And you lied to me, too.
Oh?
You promised that you'd give your body to me when you couldn't handle things anymore.
Well, this Xianzhou native's life has finally come to an end, my old friend. How about one last chance for revenge? Come and bid me farewell for the final time.
He had long since come to some understanding. I could sense a mix of intricate emotions flowing out. It wasn't bloodlust, or anger, or fear. What he had left for you was hope.
They've learned how to fight monsters. But there's still one last monster lingering in the world. Kill it, my old friend. He left me there without ever looking back.
I'm trying to figure out, is the sword disintegrating the more that we watch this memory?
Thank you, my old friend. Heliobi can taste human emotions. How do my emotions taste? My old friend.
A hint of bitter compassion and a touch of scalding courage. Your heart's deepest desire is to end war once and for all. Now, the war is finally over. Can you hear? Even though
bring an end to all conflicts in this world.
So, this is the past of the Kalevalan people's Sword of Heroes? You helped the people of that world bring an end to war?
No, I did not. I am a weapon, and I only became the cause of more conflicts. Countless monarchs of Kalevala saw me as a symbol of kingship endowed by nature, and they waged wars in order to possess me. I grew tired of their wicked intentions. I didn't want to kill for anyone anymore, so I returned to the stone monument where my master was buried. And since then, no one was able to remove me from it.
But you allowed Argenti to take you away?
Because even after all this time, I still wanted my master to come home. During the sword gifting ceremony, I felt anguish when I learned that I would be handed over to the most skilled swordmaster and once again become a tool for killing. My master had engraved his deepest desire into my blade. End war. As a weapon, my purpose was predetermined from the start. I had to become a deadly sword that would relentlessly hack and kill. But once I fulfilled my mission, would I have the right to choose my own destiny like he did? So, I asked the Knight of Beauty to help me break free from this never-ending cycle of bloodshed.
These thousands of years have naturally turned into memories of mine. I think I understand the beauty the knight was talking about now.
I don't want to be a sword that brings death. My war ended long ago. The years spent as a tombstone were my finest.
I've told you everything about my experience with Master Guyon on Kalevala. And now, I'm sure that Miss Yun-Li is as moved by the sword's flawless beauty as I was back then.
Even though I had heard the legends of this sword from the delegation, delving into its memories was still fascinating. Yun-Li, I trust Guyon's experiences have changed your mind.
Yes and no. She's like, the sword still needs to be destroyed, but recreated into something that is not a sword, maybe? Also, just silently crying over here. I hate that these companion missions get me so badly every single time. Hoyoverse is so good about making their little side quests, their involved side quests, just emotionally destructive.
That's why Grandpa hid it from me. So I wouldn't make a hasty decision. I always thought a cursed sword infused with a heliobus would only bring rage and slaughter. I never thought someone could leave behind the desire to end war, and even change the nature of the cursed sword. My position was too extreme. Guyon is truly a sword of heroes. I apologize to all of you for my behavior. I'm sorry.
Now that we've proven Miss Yun-Li's innocence and found the sword, should we now return it to the arsenal?
No. I'm still going to melt down this sword.
Argenti's like, excuse me. I left the
I heard
Trailblazers.
your true desires, Guyon. I can sense that you're tired of being a sword. Constantly serving new masters and fighting battles you no longer want to be part of. Right?
But being a sword is my destiny. I'm doomed to serve some master and fight battles endlessly. Can the wind choose to stop blowing? Can a cloud choose to stop drifting? No. It's the same for me. A creation with a predetermined destiny.
That's not true, Guyen. That nameless swordmaster shaped his own destiny. So you can too.
I just can't picture my destiny being anything other than that of a sword.
Do you remember when you stood alone in front of the Swordmaster's stone monument? People admired you because you carried the memories of the hero. You were no longer a sword. You were a memorial.
Later, as I became worn and weathered, the gentle wind would pass through the hollows of my body, creating melodic tones that echoed in the distant mountains. I became a musical instrument then. I miss those times.
Can a creation become what it wants to be? The answer is yes. I'll grant your wish, Guyen, and transform you into something different.
Something different?
But this is the price for the war dance. If the Kalevalan delegation finds out... Please, say something, General Huayan.
Well, my granddaughter has always been stubborn. Are you really sure about this, Yunli?
What do you all think?
Fulfilling Master Guyen's wishes is the reason I came to the Xianzhou. With the driller's blessing, you could turn Master Guyen into a plow. But as long as it fulfills his wish to end war, I support it fully.
Then, I'll leave it to you, Yunli.
Finally, you make your way to the Artisan Commission's Poetentate?
It's been an honor getting to know you like this.
The honor is mine. Thank you, Yunli.
Smile a long face, my child. Are you feeling regret, perhaps? You were completely determined when melting down the sword. So, why the sudden change of heart?
Grandpa, I melted down the prize for the war dance. How are you going to explain this to the lawful?
Oh? Am I hearing right? This little girl is worried about her grandpa. Didn't see that coming.
If only I'd talked to you from the beginning, Grandpa. Maybe things wouldn't have escalated like this, but at least Guyen got what it wanted. I have no regrets there.
When it comes to swords, you and your father are cut from the same cloth. So, are you planning to continue melting down the rest of Hongguang's swords?
Yeah. Guyen is unique. But the other cursed swords are still too dangerous for anyone to handle. But maybe I'll try to be more patient next time.
Be more patient. Well said. Remember what you learned today, because there will be many more situations in the future that will require you to be more patient.
Understood. But what about the prize?
Well, ever since you showed up at the ceremony, I had a hunch. So I prepared another sword as a backup plan. And don't worry, this one has nothing to do with Helioba.
That's perfect.
By the way, the ambassador from Kalevala and that knight went to Arum Alley. They're looking for a spot to honor the hero. Why don't we go take a look together?
Huayan. What brings you here?
Well, my granddaughter was inspired by the heroic legends told by the Mieka Kivesa, so she dragged me here to take a look.
I come from a long line of Kalevala monument keepers. For generations, my family has guarded the stone monument left behind by the nameless hero. Over the centuries, a golden tree sprouted from under the monument, and its branches have never withered. We Kalevalans see it as proof of the hero's existence. Before leaving Kalevala, I took a branch from that golden tree, hoping to plant it here to represent the hero returning to his homeland.
That sounds good. We Xianzhou people don't make coffins or set up memorials, so I'm sure he would be happy to rest here where life is bustling.
The hero had asked our ancestors to carve something into the monument, so I made a copy of it too. While the inscription is pretty worn with age, perhaps you can still make out some of it.
I have drifted far from my homeland and am on the brink of death. Yet, I take solace in having honorably fulfilled my duties. Should you feel compassion for me, kind traveler, please take a handful of soil hence and bring it back to the Lawfu. Mr. Pavo, I wonder if that hero ever left a name in your history.
I apologize, but the hero's epic battles happened long ago, and he did not leave any name for us to call him. But in our mythology, he came from the heavens, and so we call him the Cloud Knight.
Welcome home, Cloud Knight.
Now, you can also rest here, Guyan.
Oh, literally as the musical instrument too. Sword in the stone, soul in the sky. An unassuming ancient guzheng. Its body and strings appear to be crafted from a unique kind of metal. Even without a human's touch, it occasionally bursts out notes as if humming an untuned melody for someone unseen. That's cute. Argenti.
As a punishment for being an accomplice in this theft, General Huayan assigned me to guard this golden sapling and recite the story of the hero and this legendary sword to passers-by. This is not a punishment at all, and I gladly accepted it. Spreading the message of beauty to the Xianzhou residents is exactly what I desire. However, I plan to leave the Xianzhou soon and continue my travels. May our paths cross again in the vast cosmos, my dear friend.
He's so fun. Alright, and with that, I have officially only the tiny side quests, I do believe, that I am not missing. As you can see, I have a lot of Penacony stuff. Okay, listen to what Clocky has to share. Cosmic Star. Clocky expresses concern about Leslie Dean's state. Maybe you could have a talk with him.
It's still early.
You know what? Speaking of which, I literally haven't gone to that statue in a hot minute. Did I max that out? Okay, you can literally just... Yeah, it's maxed out. It's just...
Checked off the list. My dream.
new question is, did I finish, did I end up getting this? Yeah, I have both of them. Okay, it's been a while. Tick-tock! There was something off about that person. Yes, that's him. My instincts are razor sharp. That person is missing something. As soon as someone is missing something, they can no longer be called a complete person. Tick-tock. An incomplete person? How terrible. Okay, Liz, we have to think of a way to help him.
Like dandelions.
I'm so happy I got a chance to meet with the City of the Dreams. Sorry, as you can see, I'm a little busy. If you're interested, perhaps we could talk a little later. Mr. Leslie, what's wrong? Do you feel unwell? No, things like this shouldn't happen inside a dream. My apologies, everyone. I suddenly feel... I do not know how to put it into words, but I feel terrible. I do not wish to rain on your parade, but I think I may need a little space. Are you tired? Shall we leave it here for today? We have pestered you enough already. I agree. I'm so sorry, Mr. Leslie. I hope you can feel better soon. Leslie Dean's brow scrunch up and he begins to twitch gently. Your actions seem to have cast him into some unknown pain and sadness. Seeming to have sensed your presence, he forces himself to open his eyes. You're still here, Mr. Kalis. My apologies. I don't know what's happened to me. Just now, suddenly and without warning, it felt like I'd been struck with a bullet that tunneled through my chest, leaving an invisible hole. When it went through my chest, my existence seemed to have lose all sense of reality. Started to feel like I'd never even been alive. All the memories in my mind suddenly seemed completely false, as if it was someone who had forcefully implanted them inside of me. They didn't belong to me at all. How should I explain this feeling? It was like I'd been cast into a corridor of paintings, all of the paintings recording my past experiences. But no matter how vivid the scenery was in the picture, I still felt like a complete outsider, like an onlooker trespassing in the gallery. Perhaps all those images that were recorded did actually happen, but I just cannot seem to connect those memories to the person that I am now. Perhaps I spent so long reveling in the golden hour that the boundaries between dreams and reality are starting to blur. Who should I go to? I know this may sound a little scary, Mr. Kalis, but I fear I may have forgotten how to wake up. Well, I'm literally stuck in this place and totally clueless about how to leave this dream. Reality, it's so frail and fleeting that a single breeze can scatter it like a dandelion in the wind. This is one of my lines in the movie, Ancient Dreams of Distant Stars. It feels very appropriate in my current situation. Mr. Kalis, if you could move freely between dreams and reality, would you be able to consult with a family representative in the real world? I do not wish to spend the rest of my days submerged in a dream, giving my all to play the part of someone else's shadow. I can imagine nothing more tragic. Mr. Kalis, I wish to save myself. Will you help me?
It's still early. Where to now?
May you have an enjoyable time.
Huh? Leslie Dean. I know that name. I remember. Isn't that the name of the superstar that passed away? When you say he needs your help, you mean... You explain Leslie Dean's situation to Allie. Naturally, you exclude a few details for your own sake. This is not good. A client clearly experienced an irregularity to the point that they would describe it as forgetting how to wake up. I shall inform a member of the family staff. I'm sure they'll be able to handle the situation appropriately. Thank you very much for providing this information, Mr. Kalis. Was Allie about to say the Bloodhound family? I have a bad feeling about this. I should return to the dream and check in on Leslie.
It's still early. Where to now?
Someone is calling for help. Let's go take a look. It's Leslie. Someone's trying to take Mr. Leslie away. These thugs came out of nowhere and came rushing down the street. They just took him away without saying a word. They ran away. I'm begging you, you have to help him. Who are you? What do you want? This is a dream. You can't take things you steal in a dream back to reality with you. Are you certain that this is the anomaly? I am certain. His existence here has already violated multiple conditions in the dream agreement. Understood. Begin the removal process. What are you doing? This is bad. I have to stop them. Who's this? It does not matter. Interfering with family enforcement is a breach of the dream agreement. They must be removed along with the anomaly.
Let's improvise. Let the show begin.
Here, there's thunder.
Still the same old...
Trifling.
It's on me. Dreams do come true.
Conflict is pitiless.
I'm in your debt, Mr. Kalis. If you had not rescued me, I don't know what they would have done to me. Before you arrived, I overheard them mention a room number. Room 1007. Could that be the hotel room that I entered the dream from? Also, they kept saying something about a dream anomaly. What on earth could they mean? I don't know how to wake up and can't remember the room number I entered the dream from. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Really? I wouldn't be so certain. If that was the case, why would they have been so violent? The family would normally treat guests in such a way. I must confess to you, Miss Kalis, I'm very scared. I'm scared that I'll be faced with a terrifying reality when I wake up. I am also afraid to lose the consciousness that I have now. At least now I can see, hear, sense the world around me. One knows what kind of changes my body has undergone in reality. Even if I know that this is a dream, so what? The dream world is realistic enough for many people to become immersed and feel alive, is it not? You're right, but... Leslie falls silent for a moment. He lowers his head slightly as his slender eyebrows droop. His eyes that radiate warmth and greatness become hidden from the sight as his handsome face becomes half devoured by blue shadows. It'd be a lie to say that I was not concerned with my real self in the slightest. I still remember the last time I met you in a dream, Mr. Kalis. I said I wanted to save myself. However, after you left, I calmed down and began to think in greater depth. I began to question whether or not this fantasy of mine really needed to be shattered. I have everything that I could need here. Everything that I lost in the real world has been given to me once more in the dream. Dreams and reality, truth and falsehoods. Must we separate them so clearly? I'm willing to believe that the person you see before you is my true form, and I don't wish to believe that, in reality, I'm nothing but a deformed body covered in scars. Thank you. You really are a dear friend. Leslie raised his head. Inside his lax gaze, you catch a glimpse of determination. Room 107. 1007 technically, but perhaps you could find time to take a look at what's happened in there. If you happen to learn of the truth, I shall leave it up to you whether to share it with me or not. Right now I find myself racked with incessant anxiety. I cannot bring myself to calm down and carefully consider my future. You are my savior, so I trust your judgment. For now, I should find a discreet corner and lay low. I don't want to find myself in trouble again. Oh, it's one of the locked rooms. Okay. There's a treasure chest in there. There's 2 treasure chests that I don't have, and they're in those rooms.
Where to now?
Why isn't there a...
You found it. Room 1007, the room that Leslie Dean mentioned. Is it possible that the truth behind the cosmic star lies behind this door? Perhaps he has fallen into a deep sleep from which he cannot wake. No answer. You sense that something is not right. If something were to happen to a great man like Leslie Dean, then the family would not likely just to ignore it. Considering the way the family treated Leslie Dean inside the dream, getting them involved may not be a good idea, as if they haven't already taken action. You try turning the door handle with only a paltry amount of hope in your heart. The door is unlocked, but there is no guest to be found sleeping in the room. Let's go in and investigate. There's a stack of pictures of Leslie Dean on the hotel room floor, and some of them have his personal autograph on them. Would someone really carry this many pictures on their person? You can't help but ask yourself, maybe this cosmic star is just self-obsessed. I mean, I imagine it's someone that wants to pretend that they're Leslie Dean, like it's a fan, and they're not actually the superstar, you know what I mean? We'll do that one last. At first, you cannot understand why paper checks would still exist in a world like Penacony, but having read what was written on the paper, you understand. Having this string of numbers printed on each note especially was a sign of the family's dwindling patience. The guest staying in this room is already nearly 2 weeks behind on payments. It seems that the family's attitude in treating overdue guests is more lenient than you imagined. In Leslie Dean's situation already so dire that he could no longer afford the room fee, that would not be surprising as news about stars going bankrupt pops up in the International Peace broadcast almost daily. There's a movie playing on the television. Quick cuts and dazzling special effects quickly overwhelm your senses. After a series of shocking scenes and featuring exploding warships, a close-up of Leslie Dean's handsome face takes the screen. Seems that he's playing a warship pilot, likely a heroic figure that played a critical role in a long drawn-out interstellar energy war, someone whose name people will remember well. You see his name in the subtitles, Captain Cromwell. In this tense showdown, he seems to be engaged in a war of worlds with a sly IPC elite. This has nothing to do with the price IPC have offered. The Sixth Fleet position on this matter cannot be changed by price, for it goes against our values. I understand that you value your contracts and your honor, but I implore you to think carefully about this. Are you sure that the people on your ship share your firm beliefs, Captain? You have no family, no children, no one to be concerned for, so you battle for your beliefs. You would even take them to your grave, but what about them? Do they feel the same way? You imagine yourself a martyr and a hero, but do not forget. When it comes down to it, you are no more than just a group of mercenaries, warmongers that settle matters for credits. Do not think the afterlife has a place for you, Captain. I have never believed in life after death, Mr. Thompson, nor do I think that you believe in these ideas that you spout. You do not understand me, let alone the men by my side. There is one thing that you should have understood by now. The reason that I am the person sitting here in this discussion with you is not because I am the so-called captain, but because I am the only person that can withstand your obsession with money. Honestly, it's taking all my strength not to spit in your face. I'll give you 5 minutes to take your paper scraps and get lost back to your ship. Tell the IPC directors the Sixth Fleet shall visit Pier Point one day. I knew there was a treasure chest in here. I could hear it. There is an envelope lying at the bottom of the dream device with no signatures or markings on it. You slide your fingers inside the already torn open envelope and pull out a yellow-tinged letter. The letter is covered in dense scribbled writing. It took a while for the Synthesia beacon to be able to translate it. To the loyal fans of Leslie Dean, thank you for accepting our invitation. Now I'll explain all the details and steps into Leslie Dean's rebirth project entails. We'll raise money through crowdfunding to purchase Leslie Dean's memory storage from the Epsilon Merchant Guild. We'll conduct a thorough study of Leslie Dean's memory storage to ensure every participant has an in-depth understanding of Leslie Dean's personality, character, and life. We will visit Penacony and create a Synthesia dreamscape with the dream technology there. By drawing from Leslie Dean's memory storage and our impression of him, we will reconstruct the body, mind, and spirit of the cosmic star in the dreamscape. Ladies and gentlemen, we all are the witness to Leslie Dean's short-lived yet scintillating career. His sudden demise has left us all devastated. If you feel indignant about his fate, join the Leslie Dean Rebirth Project. We will have the opportunity to make up for the regrets and bring Leslie Dean back to his brilliant life. Okay, so he's like a fake person, like that, like the guy that was obsessed with the security agent, who made like a fake version of her that he lives with inside the dreamscape. There's a lot of information here. Let's summarize the main points. The person that lives here is not Leslie Dean. The real Leslie Dean died long ago. However, his memories have been preserved as memoria. A group of Leslie Dean's fans have found a way to pool their funds and purchase his memories, taking it with them into Penacony. Then they entered the dream as a group and connected their individual consciousness networks to recreate the image of Leslie Dean through the Synthesia dreamscape. Leslie that I met in the dream, though infused with the memories of the cosmic star, was nothing more than a fabricated fantasy. So the owners of this room must be... Who's in that room? Who are you? The gentleman living in this room should have been... he should have already checked out of this room. Did I forget to lock it after I finished cleaning? This gentleman has already left Penacony. He... Okay, I beg that you please do not tell anyone about this, or else I know the family will deem me negligent of my duties and forbid me from ever dreaming again. I heard that this client was forced to leave as he was behind on room fees. He has been in Penacony for a very long time, but he didn't look like a rich man to me. Many people are willing to pay any price to experience the dreamscape. They go as far as to spend every penny to their name just to be in Penacony. Honestly, this is not my first time seeing a client like this, and I've not been here for overly long. I've told you everything I can. If you don't mind, could you please leave? I need to hurry and tidy up this room. There are other guests that wish to move in. The client in this room was forced to leave after exhausting all of their savings. With the letter I read before, I could assume that they were one of the fans that assisted in reconstructing the images of Leslie Dean inside the dream. I wonder if this will affect Leslie in any way. I should return to the dream and check on him. So at this point, you can either tell him that he's a fake memory of the actor, or you can let him continue believing he's the actor or something, probably. Oh, it's the fake adventuring. It's the guy that's like pretending to be adventuring. You returned. I was hoping that I could muster more of a friendly attitude, but I don't know why. I've been feeling dazed and nauseous since what happened before. I just cannot seem to muster any energy. I hope you can understand. Do we tell him or do we not? The fact that you have come back to see me, does this mean that you have come to some understanding of my situation and reality? Please tell me the truth, Mr. Kalis. I think I'm ready to accept it, no matter how hard a reality it is to accept. You tell Leslie the truth. He's just a fantasy created by a group of crazed fans, and the true cosmic star has long since passed. You mean I don't actually exist? Leslie's once glistening eyes suddenly lose their brilliance as his face fades from the color of a golden wheat to pale, then to pure white. Veins on either side of his graceful neck begin to protrude as his pulp becomes visible to the naked eye. Suddenly realizes that this moment of despair weighs on him as heavy as a century of suffering. But his downtrodden demeanor does not last long. Just as the last glint of light is about to fade from his eyes, a new flame kindles in his pupils. Thank you, Mr. Kalis. The truth was extremely important to me. I understand now why those memories they were supposed to belong to me felt so distant and strange. I finally understand. I am the Leslie Dean that exists inside other people's ideals, yet I am far from being the man himself. The reason for my existence is to take his place, but I could never become him. Many people are still paying a price to maintain the existence of this body of mine. They are paying with their finances, their time, their lives, and even their selves. However, Mr. Kalis, I wish to know, do you think that treasuring the memory of someone who has already passed is worth such a lofty price to the living? Yeah, I was about to be like, that's purely up to them. You are correct, this is their own decision, but I do not wish to sit idly by. It was not my personal will that I would appear in this place, though I could not decide when I came. I'd like to make my decision on when I go. Kalis, would you help me once more? I wish to summon the people that created me. No matter how sweet the dream, delving in too deep will only lead to suffocation. I should help them face the realities. This is my... No, that's not right. This is the world constructed by Leslie's followers. This is where they created me. Being in this place, I feel like I'm looking into a mirror. However, what this mirror reflects is my internal organs. It allows me to see my own soul up close. If I look closely, all you can see is a void. A true soul cannot be simply created from thin air. My apologies. I am complaining without just reason. It's time for us to go and liberate those souls that truly do exist. What stands before you is a simple hotel room door. However, you have a strong feeling that what lies behind this door is far from a simple room. Robert, that is the name of the master of this space? Let's go inside, Mr. Kalis. I am prepared to face my creator. Great news, Robert. Green-eared Josie just got a hold of a source of ancient dreams of distant stars. For real? Where'd he get that? Is it high def? It's 16K res, and at least that's what he said. Oh, you want to rent it? I don't have any money at all. My mom cut off my allowance ever since she caught me secretly renting tapes last time. What? What's wrong with liking movies? Plus, this is Leslie Dean's debut work. Your mother has no taste at all. Don't worry, I'll cover it this time. Come to my place after school next time. We can watch it together. Thank you, Harry. Robert, I feel like our senses were linked for a moment then. His home planet is an impoverished land that has been under IPC sanctions ever since the Interstellar Energy War. The only way that they are able to watch movies is by renting tapes from smugglers at a high price. Harry is Robert's best friend, and he's like an older brother to him. I can sense that Robert relies on him greatly. Let's keep watching, Mr. Kalis. You need to accept reality, Rob. Harry's not here anymore. We still have so many films we haven't watched together. Purple Rain. Harry's favorite movie is Purple Rain. We promised one day we would meet the real Leslie Dean and get an autograph from him. Wake up, Rob. We live in a world without hope. These concepts of interstellar travel and cosmic star have nothing to do with us. I'm trying to keep you from those things. No, I don't want to hear it. I want to leave this place. I want all of this to be gone. You don't understand what makes something beautiful. None of you understand. Only he does. Harry. Harry's so optimistic, ever strong, but also so ill-fated to have his life cut short by an accident at his age. Having lost his best friend, Robert was on the verge of collapse. He felt anger and rage towards everything around him, just injustice and despair, so he began to search for a way to escape. In doing so, he found me. Let's keep watching, Mr. Kalis. Oh, here? No. There. Okay, I was like, where is the marker? A picture of two people together, Robert and Leslie Dean. Leslie's face is adorned with the expression you would expect from a huge star, bright, confident, and just the right amount of pride. Standing next to him is Robert, appears dry and plain. He is by no means unattractive, it's just that standing next to the great Leslie Dean in his prime, he seems unremarkable in comparison. Robert's mouth is slightly upturned at the corners as if he's trying his hardest to give a satisfactory smile to the person behind the camera, but his empty eyes betray him. He is drowning. Robert was able to leave his hometown, albeit using methods that he would not easily share with others. He began a journey of losing himself, trying to find the Leslie Dean that exists in his ideals. What he never realized was, though he thought he had been fighting back all his life, all this time, he was really just running away. He lost his friend. His lost friend has been haunting him this whole time. He thought that if he only found me and fulfilled their dream, then the dark shadow of their past would disappear. He locked himself in a world of only Leslie Dean. He could not bring himself to face the true source of his suffering. However, when the bubble that gave him a place to hide suddenly burst, he no longer knew where to go. So that's why he went into the undertaking, giving up on himself to maintain a false idea. We have to make Robert remember. We have to make him remember the light he once had in his life. In this story, I am no more than a scapegoat. We have to allow Harry to become Robert's star once more. Please help him. Gently, you remove the picture of Robert and Leslie from the table and replace it with that of the two young childhood friends. You are aware that no matter how much noise you make in this space, it is unlikely to have any real effect on Robert, but you still wish to complete this operation gently and carefully. There is a clip of Leslie Dean being interviewed by a famous talk show host playing on the television. You cannot hear the conversation clearly, but you can see two people with beaming smiles. Their dancing eyebrows and upturned smiles are proof that their joy is not manufactured in any way. The moment you press the switch on the television, Leslie Dean's soothing voice comes to a sudden stop and the echoes in the void around you before disappearing entirely. The silence now covers the spiritual space suddenly feels like a deafening clamor. You feel a little lonely on Robert's behalf, but for the sake of his life, he must bear and process the loneliness by himself. That should be enough, right? Even if the beginning of this process is painful, I hope that he can recall his childhood friend and remember who is truly important to him. As for whether to move forward or to continue to wallow, we cannot make that decision for him, but at least we have given him an opportunity to truly face what he feels inside. There may be a way for us to test the results. The greater the effect of our results, the weaker the foundation this body should become. When the time comes, I should be able to feel the effects our actions have brought. Let's go, Mr. Kalis. There's others waiting for us. Jillian, that must be this fan's name. Let's go, Mr. Kalis. Let's see what has happened to her. It seems that I have already dominated her entire world. All these standing there are her images of the Leslie Dean. You're right, it's pitiful and lonesome. I can remember certain moments. They were truly uncomfortable. I remember crazed fans hiding on unexpected street corners, spying, taking secret pictures, and sending messages that would chill you to the bone. This is the burden that stars and public figures must bear, though a lot of people think that these byproducts are nothing in comparison to the fame and wealth they enjoy. It seems that Miss Julian was one of those crazed fans once, fanatical to the point that she still continues to maintain this version of me even after I have gone. Wonder if she has ever realized that this sick love has begun to destroy her life. Let us awaken her, Mr. Kalis. Leslie Dean is perfect. He has no flaws. Absolutely none. Sorry to disappoint you, Miss Julian, but no one is perfect. My shortcomings and weaknesses are piled up in a corner that you just cannot see. I have made too many mistakes in my life to count, and they have all become meticulously hidden skeletons in my closet. But they are all a part of me. I cannot shy away from their existence. I hope that everyone's imperfections can be understood. After all, if we live under a magnifying glass every day, sooner or later we will be incinerated by the rays of the sun. Anyone who slanders the name of Leslie Dean is my enemy. They are villains that must be eradicated. It is not easy to differentiate between criticism and slander. I have been lost in the waves of these two voices before too. This is a lifelong lesson, one that I have never fully grasped even until the end. But I did come to understand one thing. Those slanderous voices outside had not been a personal attack on me for a long time. They gradually evolved into a vicious cycle of perpetual opposition, a battle that was destined to never have a victor. I no longer care about baseless slander, Miss Julian. I just wish to bring this cycle of sadness and malevolence to an end. Anyone? Yep. He is mine, mine. I think we have found the source, Mr. Kalis. I can sense it, a powerful desire that came pouring from the base of our heart. It's powerful, a terrifying desire for possession. The roots of this desire have grown too deep. I will not be able to handle this alone. Mr. Kalis, will you take action? The negative memes affecting Miss Julian have grown so powerful that we will only be able to dispel them with even greater power. Sometimes violence is the only way to combat something that does not respond to logic. Be careful, it is extremely aggressive.
Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Well, I was not expecting this one to be as long as it's ending up to be. But it makes sense if it's one of the rooms.
Conflict is pitiless. Show no mercy.
I hope we've done enough. When it comes to Miss Julian, perhaps this is the only method to open her eyes. I'm sure that many people have attempted to lecture her in the past. I imagine she's long since become numb to a reason. Inside the spiritual space, Leslie suddenly falls backward. He staggers and stumbles a couple of steps before forcing himself back to his feet. I'm fine. Thank you for your concern. I can feel it. The foundations that compose this body are gradually collapsing. I think this means that our work has not been in vain. Let us continue to the next location, Mr. Kalis. I imagine someone else is waiting for us. Oh, is this Julian? Interesting. I didn't realize you could actually talk to those people. Flora. I wonder what kind of life this woman has lived. Let's go, Kalis. Wait, Flora, do you know her? They must just be someone with the same name, surely. Sorry, this name just seems to rouse my memories. Let's go, Mr. Kalis. We must be quick. I don't know how much longer this body can hold on. Flora, it's really her. Oomst? She's my former assistant. But why would she? I never thought that she would have such a strong obsession. There must be more than meets the eye here. Let's get closer and take a look, Mr. Kalis. Mr. Dean, come, let me introduce you. This is Flora, our company's most promising young worker. From today forth, she'll be your personal assistant. His eyes are even more mesmerizing in person. Mr. Dean, hello. I look forward to learning from you in the future. It's a pleasure, Miss Flora. You really are a charming young lady. I'm sure we'll work wonderfully together. Mr. Dean, I will have Flora accompany you for tomorrow's shoot so she can get used to the working environment. You don't mind, do you? Stay cool, Flora. You must stay professional. I'll work my hardest. I'll not let you down. Mr. Leslie, are you hungry? Would you like something to eat? Leslie seems exhausted. Mr. Leslie, I'm not hungry. But you haven't eaten anything all day. Perhaps this is a bad time. I told you I'm not hungry. Can you not hear? Today is your birthday. The shoot was scheduled for 10 a.m. tomorrow. I will contact the crew and have them push it back. Please make sure that you get some rest this evening, Mr. Dean. Good night. What's wrong, Flora? Why are you crying? Don't keep that bottled up. You can tell me anything. I'm his assistant. I mustn't complain. I'm fine. Honestly fine. Lately, you've been looking sad. Did something happen at work? I cannot harm his image. I'm honestly fine, Lisa. Don't worry about me. Didn't you mention a cake store that you like before? How about we go and check it out this afternoon? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? Give us a smile. Where's the bubbly, happy Flora we know and love gone? Leslie, I've told you everything I needed to. Now, at this crucial juncture, I'm not even sure what to say. Ah, I see. Flora, idiot. Oh, you know, don't you? After this tour, I'll be switching agencies. Idiot. Of course I do, Mr. Dean, but at least for today, I am still your assistant. I was wondering, would it be possible? Idiot, idiot. Forget it, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. He was probably gonna ask her to go with him. Every adventure must come to an end someday. Take care of yourself, Flora. I love you, you idiot. Thank you. You take care of yourself too. May we meet again, Mr. Dean. And that they were, Mr. Kalis. In life, is there anything more painful than missing a chance? This is all my fault. I was slow, unreasonable, obnoxious. Thankfully, it seems fate has gifted me a second chance. Though my body no longer remains, I still have the opportunity to change something in this way. I wish to speak with Flora. Mr. Kalis, I will not miss out again this time. She must not waste her life on a memory. These wounds that were once caused by Leslie Dean, I will now soothe them shut myself. Flora. Mr. Dean? Why are you still here? Your flight's about to take off if you don't hurry. Relax. They will not leave without me. Have you forgotten who I am? Causing trouble again, I see. Don't fret about such small things. More importantly, do you have something that you want to say to me? Mr. Dean, please don't make jokes like this. The flight is about to take off and everyone is waiting for you. If you keep acting like this... No, Flora, I will not go. Tonight I will bid farewell to a woman. This woman has played an irreplaceable role in my life, even if she does not know it. Kind, meticulous, patient. She has more good qualities than I could ever list. With her by my side, my life could not have been smoother. She took on the weight of my responsibilities so that I could continue to focus on my own career. I took everything that she did for me for granted. Only after all this time did I realize how childish and idiotic I was. I hope that she can forgive me for this. But there is something more than all of this. If I had not turned back, if I had never had this conversation, her life would fall to the depths and I would personally have caused her unhappiness. I would never forgive the version of myself that would do this. So, Flora, I will not leave until you unravel the knot that is consuming you from within. Leslie, you idiot, you really are. I always loved... No, that's not right. I will always love you. Mr. Kalis, I have realized something. May I share it with you? There was a moment just now I suddenly felt like all of the problems that had been bothering me before were no longer important. I think so. Who am I? This question has been following me since the moment I first took this form. When I was reading Flora's memories, I felt like I was inside of a painting for the first time. Her words and emotions truly shook my heart. At that moment, I finally believed I no longer need to doubt my own existence. I am an extension of the life of Leslie Dean. I am composed of Leslie Dean's memories, along with the people's ideas and impressions of him. I have started to feel that these two things are enough to form a person, to make me, me. I no longer need this hollow body to prove my existence. Thank you, Mr. Kalis. Without your help, I would have never been able to do any of this alone. Let us leave this place. I'm feeling tired.
It's still early.
We're back. Leslie's voice is growing weaker, his skin and clothing slowly growing as transparent as a light muslin. The cityscape of Penacony reflected on his body, half illusion, half true. No blood or bones could be seen under his skin, only candles and starlight. My body feels so light, so powerless. My mind, I feel it growing thin. My senses are becoming dull. But I don't know why. I feel at ease. I've never felt this peace of mind inside the dream world like this. I feel like I can see myself, the Leslie Dean inside my body. It's as if he's smiling at me and saying, well done. It's strange to say it, I was so scared about losing myself, but ever since you told me the truth, I've gained the courage to let go. After experiencing all this with you, I feel even more determined. I know what I have done the right thing. So Mr. Kalis, may I ask you a final question? In the future, after I disappear, how do you think people remember the name Leslie Dean? Leslie Dean, Cosmic Star. Indeed, Leslie Dean was born for the silver screen. The star once shone bright in the sky, even if it was just a fleeting moment. There are those who would remember his brilliance forever. I should be grateful to those people that used the Dreamscape to create me. They gave their passion and their lives to create me, so it was my duty to repay them and help them move on. They created an opportunity for me and allowed me to give Leslie Dean's story a greater ending. After experiencing all this with you, I feel like I truly lived. Even if I am wrong, this is something that I will treasure above all. We may never meet again, Mr. Kalis. But I pray that this gentle universe blesses you with every breath, my friend. My favorite movie is The Mint-Colored Galaxy. If you get an opportunity, I hope you will watch it together with what you love. East of Eden. Witness the story of a fleeting cosmic superstar. Dang, Hoyoverse just decides to rip out your guts every single time. Ugh. Well, now that my emotions have been ripped out, I think that, and even though we only got one side quest done, I think that's enough for me today, because otherwise my emotions will truly fail in this instance. So we will call that a wrap for the day. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, a great weekend, and we are very excited for 2.7 coming out, and I'm sure that we will get either another sub-quest, or that was probably going to have to deal with Sunday joining the crew, or we might get to get started on heading out to our newest planet, which I'm very excited for some of the characters we've seen from that. And then, oh, also, I will be busy all weekend, like Friday to Sunday, going to an event. So I will not be able to stream on Sunday like normal. I am going to try and stream on Thursday. So do not worry about that. I will do my best to make sure we have a stream. And since the new event starts, in 2 days, I do believe that 2.7 will be live when I do my next stream. So we will get a peek at that content. And we can cry and having no savings for Sunday, but it's fine. We'll get there eventually. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day and a great rest of your week and good night's sleep. Bye, everyone.